My argument, my whole public service career was based on a simple bet that the empowerment of the South Asian American community was not only necessary, but actually good for America. I believe that more strongly today than ever before, given the global economy and the challenges that we have. And I think this club is going to play a huge role with partners like Teresa and others to help our community have a voice in giving back to this country and to our community. So thank you for having me.
So, we also have a couple other folks who have joined in. And firstly, Jayashree Sharma, who's one of the delegates from District 28. A big round of applause for Jayashree. Because many of you, as we evolve our club, and Ro has to run to his next meeting, so thank you, Ro, for joining us, and Teresa too. So thank you, Teresa. And as we look at evolving our club, adding members, and getting really involved in the community, here are examples. We have Reshma, we have Jayashree, we have Samita. They all went out and ran for delegate seats. We had Mohammed Nadeem, we had Yogi, we had a lot of different leaders from our community who stepped up and said, I'm going to run for delegate. And there's a lot of value in that. And what I would highly recommend to you is to go out and have the dialogue. Why did you run? What's your aspiration? Why are you doing this? Let's talk about that, because I think it's a very important key step. And many of you should, next year we'll have, once again, it's a 2-year term, we'll again have these elections. So please get out there and run for these delegate positions, for executive board, things like that. At this point, what I would like to do is, Ash had to leave, but Ro had to leave. So what I would like to do is invite Natarajan, Vice Mayor of Fremont, but also she's on the board of our club. So Anu, come on up here, and she's she's energized the community like no one. I mean, she's a phenomenal leader, that's a given. She understands the land use, comes from planning commission background, and we are just very lucky. You did already. Yes. We are very lucky to have Anu be part of our leadership team. So a few words of insight and wisdom from Anu in steering our club towards success, how we grow membership, what is our agenda, charter as we evolve, things like that. That would be helpful. Awesome.
Hey, this is a group that doesn't need anything more. Here's a group of passionate, involved folks that understand the need for us to be part of mainstream politics. I mean, I don't have to teach any one of you anything. I mean, you've gone there, you've done that, Mohammed. You've set an example of going out there into our communities and being the trailblazers and saying, we're not simply going to be the ATMs anymore for all of the candidates. We have our own set of really articulate, well-qualified candidates. And I think that's important and significant as we, a new immigrant community, come into the mainstream politics. It's not to support every candidate that happens to be South Asian, but for us to cultivate and nurture qualified candidates and build a pipeline and a huge bench for every level of politics. I think as much as we focus on Congress and make sure that we have our representation there, make sure that in this race we work on for candidates like Khanna, it's equally important for us to work on local races, school board, community colleges, city councils, state assembly and Senate too, because we don't have any representation in California in the Senate, at the state level. And so I think it's important for us to think about it in parallel for all of these different levels, and the clubs are an important venue to do this. An example, a classic example of something that we did there with such class and panache is what Yogi, Reshma, Dharminder, and that whole group did with the 80-25 delegate election. We went out there, didn't take a small step and say, let's get 2 or 3 people. We said, let's get a slate. Let's get as many of our candidates in there, because people need to know that we are aware, we want to be involved, and it's time for us to be part of the conversation. We cannot be sidelined. And I think part of what we also need to do is look at some of the things that didn't go well, especially with my election in November, and learn from those mistakes and make sure that doesn't happen ever again. And to make sure that as much as we may have differences internally, that it does not get magnified and echoed out in the larger community. And that's something we need to learn from the Chinese American community in terms of how cohesive a voice they have when they project outside. And I think that's the same thing we need to do as an Indian American community. Yes, we are part of the Asian landscape, but I think we also need to very, very clearly focus on Indian Americans and make sure that we get people involved, engaged, and make sure that they think that being in politics is sexy. Thank you all.
So I think we are pretty much done. But what I would like to say is the roadmap. Where are we heading with this, right? Where are we heading with this? So essentially, when you look at, last night we were at Dr. Chapra's home. We had a big celebration of the delegate win. And really, what we were talking about is how do we go out and replicate that across all the different communities in the Bay Area? Because the Fremont community is very cohesive. They are very united. They are out there doing a lot of good, not only within Fremont, but also in Alameda County and across. So we really need to figure out how to replicate that. And Yogi is one of the phenomenal leaders. I asked him to come and speak, but today he's not in the mood for talk. So,
Yogi,
come on up here, Yogi. Come on.
No, appreciate that. I know we all have lunch to do and everything else, but the key thing is here. Leaders like Ash and leaders like Natarajan, they have been the trailblazers. They have won office already. I'll tell you folks, this is a defining moment for our community, whether it's Sikh American, whether it's Indian American, whether it's Telugu American, or whether it's Kannada American, or whatever may be the whole notion of bridging these communities together, building that cohesive voice. And I'll tell you, we are going to come back and forge a trailblazing opportunity. That trailblazing opportunity comes back from the notion that we who came into this country years ago lived this immigrant dream, an immigrant dream of fear, an immigrant dream of success, and now we're at that stage in our lives where we have to come back and say that a political voice is very, very important. We've had a lot of conversation, folks, but now the time has come for action. There are issues that bind us together. There are issues that differentiate us from time to time on some of those normal issues that big, large communities will often go through. But I'll tell you, the one issue we will be united in is that political voice, because long after our political voice is accomplished, the issues that we've come to galvanize ourselves around and live in America, we'll forget those issues. It is now a time for a voice. Irish Americans, Jewish Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, Caucasian Americans, Irish Americans, whatever it may be. Let's not be a footnote. Let's continue to build that, and when our children grow up to aspire for office, there is one day I live for. We will never, ever have to kiss the ring of those in the institutional powers that will come back and say, your turn will come, and we wait for that turn. So folks, get excited. This room will fill up, and after that, we're going to keep on building and building and building and building. And I ask every one of you in this room today, give me a commitment. It's not much I ask for. I will give to this community. I know all of you give back to this community. But join me in making one commitment, that our political voice will never be taken for granted. And I want you to come back and say, we will get a voice. Can I get you all to say that for a moment? We will get a voice. Let's all say it. We will get a political voice, folks. All right. God bless America. Let's make it happen.
So Yogi is truly our fearless leader in the community. I mean, he sits there, he gets stuff done, and he's out there engaged. He knows pretty much everyone in the community, and he's there for us. So thank you, Yogi, for doing that.
Bon appetit. Let's eat, guys.
Now, quick word. Essentially, what's our charter? What are we looking to do? Yeah. What are we looking to do? And last night I was up on stage. Dr. Chapra put me on stage. Go and talk about your club. And I was like, I had no clue what to talk about. So we talked about a bunch of stuff. I got off. And then I was talking to a lady, she caught hold of me and she's like, okay, you are trying to bring the Indian Americans together. What do you want to do? What are the issues you would like to address? And I started talking about it, and then eventually she touched upon a very important point. The key point here is unification. Unification is absolutely key, and not just about Indian Americans. We have to integrate, we have to It's not about us doing stuff in a silo. And that's really what my theme is when I do stuff in Saratoga and what we are doing in Santa Clara County. You know, bring everyone together. It's not about Indians celebrating Diwali. It's about doing it in unification. You know, bring everybody involved. Invite the Asians, invite the Caucasians. You know, it's a question of how we can collaborate together, because all these different ideas can make us successful. So our club is not just for Indian Americans. It's open for everyone. It's open for absolutely everyone. Join in, bring your friends in, and let's together take this, elevate this to the next level and make it super successful. Dharminder, come on up here. Dharminder has been doing a lot of good stuff in Fremont. Come on up here.
I have 3 words, because so many people spoke before me, so many good speakers spoke before me. One thing is ditto. I think whatever they said, I would definitely ditto that and echo the same comments. I think we need to go out there and make sure that we find like-minded people, energize them, motivate them. Because out here, I don't see anybody I need to convince or motivate. I think all of us are motivated enough. And with that, I think, thank you so much.
Let's see. Come on. Thank you all.
Buffets outside, get your plates, eat. It's all covered by the Barry Indo-American Democratic Party and the Indo-American Democratic Forum. So enjoy lunch.